I need Anton.
Hello, welcome to Let's Play Dishonored 2. I'm Anton Sokolov.
Fuck me, am I old?
I'm also
I'm
very
old as hell.
And then Robokai says, I'm cool guy.
Hey, he fucked his name up in a different one too. It's fine.
The city where
That guy.
We don't know who we are anymore. This is just the Surge. This is just secretly a Let's Play of the Surge.
I can never get into that game.
They say the Clockwork soldiers.
I haven't
are
ever
equal
played that
to
game, so I
Karnaka's
can't
best
judge.
fighters now. I'm going to put that to
Yeah, I
the
don't know what you're
test.
talking about.
It's a
Rescue one
shitty
genius
sci-fi
and
Dark
cage the
Souls
other
ripoff.
before he creates an army of
Okay.
Excuse me, it's not shitty. It's fantastic. I'll fight you.
Excuse me.
I'll fight you.
Ma'am.
I've got my fists up.
Is it time for fisticuffs?
I can just imagine Robokai like tilting his fists back, crazy way.
Yeah. So, you know, like, because the interludes are so short on this one, I've just, like, they're in all my videos now,
Oh,
including
no.
reading a book.
That's fine.
I say short, people look at the video length and go, he says
I'd love
short.
to read Emily
but-
Caldwin's travel guide. Or Corvo's travel guide. Who's the best stabbers? Who's the best stabbies? Where you can run away from the guards best? What hotels have easily murdered prostitutes? You know, the whole shebang.
What gutters can handle the most capacity? Like, who's really thought out the whole, like, sluicing blood away thing?
How many guards can fit in a trunk?
The Dreadful Whale, what a weird
The
name.
death infrastructure? Like, what is the morgue
Ah, the hat!
capacity?
The hat!
Hat!
The best hats.
I like how you've just got a tanker of Orban rum in your...
Watch the faces of
your
those who
cabin.
bow the most deeply.
I need rum.
Or some
What the fuck, Megan?
Okay.
It's time to go get Sokolov.
She's seen some shit.
And some
No, I
things.
think she doesn't see some shit. Is the problem with her?
Well, I mean, she doesn't see depth perception. She
Yeah,
doesn't
that's a-
see depth, but, you know, beyond that.
That is a pretty dumb to-do list.
Take the money. That's on my to-do list.
Who's gonna forget to buy onions? Take money, buy onions.
Well, it doesn't look that well stocked.
I don't see
Ramsay
any
and the
onions in
Crown
that
Killer.
kitchen, Megan.
2
I
pieces
think
of the
you're a
puzzle.
liar.
More to go. As assassins go.
Was there not like a
the Crown
debriefing?
Killer was messy, vulgar.
Corvo, you have no room to frickin' talk.
You are literally a
Yeah,
terrorist.
this version of him is like that's my job.
I mean, that's what he's doing. He causes terror among
Sorry,
those poor
Doctor.
guards.
I mean, are you
We'll
gonna
find
gonna
Anton.
fight him about it?
Jindosh invented
Fight him,
I want to
IRL.
live, man. I want my low chaos.
His inventions likely to outlive him.
I mean, you'll live after running into low chaos Corvo. You'll just be really poor and probably missing a couple of teeth.
I was
Jindosh
annoyed how
lives
they
in
just like
Upper
told to you
Venta.
how to beat the
I'll
clockwork
have to
thing.
take
So
the
I'm like, no,
carriage
I
to
want to
reach his
fail.
mansion.
And they put it in like
Well,
5 places, just so
I love
you
that
know.
portrait.
You know, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go out on a limb here and say that you're a real fan of the losing is fun culture here. You're a big fan of Dwarf Fortress, aren't you, girl?
I'm a fan of experiments. What were you saying
Okay.
about
So, yeah,
the
Dwarf
portrait?
Fortress.
I froze.
That's a very pretty portrait.
It is actually a very lovely portrait of Delilah.
Megan must be up on deck.
Well, alright, I'll get to a Corvo, but you know we've got a leak here and we gotta fix
You
it.
gotta fix
Yeah,
this leak.
actually gotta do something.
I don't
about
understand if there's even a point to this, or if like you come back one day and like this place is sunk, whatever.
I mean, didn't
don't care.
Megan's
I
note
fixed
say
it.
that she couldn't find it?
Yeah,
There's actually, like, 2 of them
you know,
sitting
she's only
around?
got one eye, like so it was probably in a blind spot all the time.
It's always just kind of on the right. There's 2 of them though. Like, I don't know what you should do if you find the second one. I think the second one's like up by her
I
bed or
didn't know there
something.
were 2 of them.
Yeah, there's another
There are
one.
2
Look,
of them.
that's her special
That's
nighttime
her-
crank. She needs that to get to sleep.
That's her nighttime crank.
It's the one.
I
It's the one where.
ain't even gonna elaborate on that one. I let people go in whichever direction
What
they want.
other direction did you give them, Robokey? There's only one direction there.
Hey, some people have stuffed. Hey, some people have stuffed animals, and some people have metal wheels. It's fine.
There was the classic "R, it's driving me nuts"
Squeak,
joke,
squeak,
and there was also the
squeak.
slang where the crank is like drugs somehow.
Well, there is
So
a
he's
second
like
crank.
smoking something horrible out of the crank.
Yeah.
Man, Megan's
crank.
He
fucking
clearly doesn't
blind.
sleep in his head.
I mean, literally, yes.
Let's go.
Yeah, take me away from these crank jokes, please.
It's just too easy to
Crank,
crank him out.
crank.
One of these days, he's gonna put that on upside down, and it's gonna be great.
It's gonna just like recoil from his
Jindosh
face,
is
and
important to the Duke's
you're
inner
gonna start laughing, and Corvo is going to
Guard
start
watches his
cursing.
mansion, harassing people who look like trouble.
Everybody's trouble.
You said there's a wall of light
I'm-
cutting off
I'm the
access
biggest
to the
trouble
carriage
here.
station.
He's kind of
Yes.
like Christian
But there's
Bale's
a black
Batman.
market shop nearby. They sell on the slot.
Wow, there's a
There's a
flashback.
rewiring tool.
Yes, but it's been years.
It's been years.
Good. Get past the wall of light, then ride the carriage to where Jindosh lives.
It's been years since
And
I
there's
placed a
reason
thing on
people
top
are
of
afraid
another
of his
thing to
mansion.
automatically make it do
I'll see
whatever
you after
I
it's done.
fucking wanted it to do.
Corvo,
I mean,
take care
rewire
of this
tools are
crazy
pretty
man and his
plentiful.
Clockwork soldiers, then bring
Not
Sokolov
before this
back.
level,
He
but
means a lot to me.
After this level, you can barely use them all. Like they spawn multiple per level, and there's only so many things that you could use.
I just don't know.
Unless you went to murder everybody.
I just don't know why
Oh
everyone.
yeah, high chaos body. Okay, you just don't know what.
I don't know why everyone makes it so that their friendly fire protocols are always the first thing to get rewired. Why are they compatible with that? It doesn't make
It's
any
just
I'm
like
sense.
an
honestly
on-off switch. Kill everything. Yes, no.
Well, to be fair, the entire way the Wall of Light works is, hey, touch this box, okay, now it will kill you.
Wall
I mean-
of Light, I understand. It's the robots and the stilt walkers
Yeah.
and the cannons that make me. Bah.
Yeah. You know what? Instead of erring on the side of caution, let's just kill everything.
Yeah, the problem with the Clockwork soldiers is that Jindosh himself is kind of a knobhead, because he's like, even if they just lose visual contact, right? You twist off the head. There's literally a recording that says, "Oh, just kill everything."
He
Like,
actually.
in
have
what
you,
universe is that
have you-
okay? You freaking
have you played
nerd.
the DLC? Have you played the DLC?
No,
Of the Outsider.
Ugh.
not
they
yet.
they address that. There's a little tiny note. It's interesting, but it kind of is like, maybe the devs are kind of like, yeah, we know this is kind of weird. So I'm just saying. I won't spoil anything, but yeah. Oh, Duke.
I really love how like conniving he said. You're gonna do
Oh,
exactly what I hope
no.
you're going to do, aren't you?
Yay!
Catharsis.
It was like,
love it.
it knew it wasn't falling in the right place, so it moved over and blew up for you. What is this?
By the way, I might be stumbles, but there's one thing I don't fuck up, and that's the crossbow.
I love the lack of reaction from that officer. Hey, this dude just had.
He had no time to react. That was like fucking rapid fire.
This is blowing up in your face.
I don't know. I feel like if some dude's head exploded, I would react a little bit faster than he did. I mean, I feel like that's a rather visceral thing.
Your brain first has to comprehend it happened. Give me that lucky spherite.
It's not lucky for this jerk because they're getting robbed.
Yeah, but
Well, I don't know if there's anyone living here
maybe
anymore.
for them it's just labeled sphalerite.
I don't think the owner cares anymore, cool guy.
Maybe the outsider does. It would make me happy to piss him off.
Yeah. Wow, I really liked
Hang
that
on.
stone in there. Jeez, Corvo.
Hello, I'm the outsider. Let me tell you a story. Sometimes things are good.
This fucking story is so dumb.
Sometimes things are bad.
For a 6-year Tivian noble girl. Jindosh worked for 3 months and built a machine composed of wood, grass,
I feel like this is the high chaos version of this story, because the other one he tells a story about like something else and
Dissecting a cat. He like dissects a cat
The little girl was told
or dissected kittens or something, and then they take apart the machine and it never worked again.
until the moment it was activated. She lives at an asylum up at Dabakfa now, and will until the end of her days.
I didn't think he said different things based on anything.
this is like I think the only example of it. I think it's really really weird. I'm just like, that story is just like, oh, it was too spooky, and then she went mad. Ooh.
Yeah, he tells a story about how something worked and it was amazing, and as soon
Yeah.
as the natural
Yeah.
people got their hands on it. It never worked again. Or
Yeah, because they
whatever,
pulled it
but-
apart and they couldn't
Yeah,
figure out
normally
how it
he
worked.
doesn't even acknowledge like any changes in the story.
Yeah,
It's weird.
that might. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see exactly how it works with High Chaos Emily there, but that might be something specific to High Chaos Corvo. We'll have to see.
I'm curious now.
I'm sure.
I was thinking about it. Am I
That's
gonna do
sexist.
it? Will I win blast? Will I win?
Windblast.
Windblast is pretty
Always
sick.
Windblast. It's so much fun. It's
Windblast!
gratuitous, but it's fun.
Windblast and
Yeah,
rats.
it's actually one of the
my
things
my
that I
biggest
miss most
issue
of
is I
Blast
have
that corpse.
too much fun with the crossbow. Like the
Blast
crossbow
the
is an
corpse.
extension of myself. Like, if you watch the first
Blast
Dishonored
the
one, there are some
corpse.
sequences where like people are like, how did you do that shot? Because I'd hit a guy from halfway across the map in the head without like even like using a zoom.
No. Don't sell yourself short here. You would not hit him in the head. You would hit him in like the left eye. Alright?
I thought maybe you hit him in the butt.
I mean, that's what I would do because it would be funnier that way.
I love the kill camera when you cross those in the butt.
Yeah, that was how we knew he specifically got him in like the left eye. Is we got the kill cam, and both Orv and I were like,
Kill cam.
"Damn, I didn't know this thing would go sniper elite on you." Guess we're just not badass enough to be worth that. And Robokai's just like breathing on his fingernails and rubbing them on his shirt.
Just getting Cheetos all over myself.
Crossbow, more like boss bow.
Boss
Graduated
Boro,
slowly.
even.
I'm sorry.
Do,
that
do
was
you have to like
terrible.
like get through the academy in order to use a graduated cylinder?
That was terrible.
A GED helps.
You're welcome.
Because at least that way you've seen the inside of a chemistry lab, hopefully.
Oh. Well, apparently in this highly scientific place they were holding a seance.
It's not a science lab, it's
Mm-hmm.
a seance lab.
Damn,
Oh.
and you were just
That was
taking the
good.
piss out of him.
Combat sleep darts for
Hang
when you
on,
want to
there
knock
was a-
people unconscious
that's
even
not
quicker,
usually-
which is, something I'm obviously going to be doing heaps of.
I'm like touching my computer screen right there on the video, but that blueprint isn't usually there. Does that mean that you missed one before?
Oh, that's the second appearance of the combat sleep dart.
Yeah, and remember I didn't get it from the safe.
Okay.
In the,
I have a hard time
in my
remembering
patience
because
thing.
obviously we're watching all of these like.
And I think I'm
going
gonna miss the one that's in Jindosh's office.
It really doesn't. Like, that one is,
The one in
That's
his,
what I think of your
the
retort.
one in his big office or the one in his moving
Okay.
office? I always miss the one in his moving office.
The one in his main office is the electromagnetic bullet that allows your pistol to stun Clockworks.
Yeah, but the other one, the one in his that's above like the other room, the one that moves up and down, I always miss that one because I always forget
Oh,
about that room.
yeah, that one. When I was practicing, I definitely forgot that the first time or two, and end up having to curse really loudly and reincorporate it into
When
my
are you
route.
gonna wind blast somebody, Robokai?
Everyone seems to have gotten over all the death and suffering, so that's good.
It's quite peaceful here now.
Except for the headless dude.
I like that there are no other guards, no medics, no nothing.
Banana?
Yeah, they just do not care.
It's just Corvo walking down the street with a body, eating a banana.
The only thing that is causing arguments about that is whether or not it's a banana or a plantain, because nobody can tell the difference at that range.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
No,
even know.
plantains
I didn't
are,
even
like,
know plantain was
green.
a
They're
thing.
like shittier bananas.
Honestly,
They're like smaller.
yeah, the only reason I knew plantains existed when I started playing this game is because I played the Amazon Trail when I was little, and I made the fucking mistake in their little guidebook about a gorillion times before I figured out how to tell the difference.
Gorillion? That's not a word.
That is totally a word, and I will fight you on the field of honor if you try to say otherwise.
Is it a measure of like, is it an ape-specific measure?
That's why I used it in relation to bananas.
I don't think there are any apes in the
I'm actually
Amazon, are
impressed.
there?
That was a cleverer pun than I anticipated you going for.
Don't worry, I worked on that one well into the night.
Oh, we know.
He's got a little notebook.
We know you
next
did.
to him.
That's why it wasn't awful.
What do you got? What do you got? You got Undertaker. You don't usually carry bodies around.
No,
though.
Falling Star. Drop assassinations, restore mana. So-
Yeah, you got. Yeah. Where are you carrying all these bone charms? Are you just cramming them like down your pants and just enjoying the void tickle that it gives you?
Yeah. Hey, look, if Megan can have her comfort wrench, comfort, whatever it was. Now she has a wrench for comfort as well.
She tries to trick them into saying something ridiculous.
How rude!
She wants to hear.
Uh-oh, is she a bad person?
Hey,
She
Cool.
tries.
She's just
She
kind of
tries
a
to
dick.
trick them into saying something
Oh, hey, it's
ridiculous.
cool.
I don't know anybody like that. Looks harshly at Rose. I mean, Robokai is the
keep
male
your eyes
version
on
of
the
that.
prize there, Robokai. Giving her a second look.
Hey, it's the beggar.
Times are hard. Help me out.
He's gonna get murdered, isn't he?
No, I don't kill any of the beggars. I don't intentionally kill any of the people.
In on a secret.
I only kill guards.
I mean, it's not you who has to murder him. Maybe he just gets in the way of guards.
Looking for whale oil. Up to something.
well, at least it wasn't a dusty old prophecy.
And perhaps he will use that to buy a bunch of soup.
Yes, grab those.
Yeah, he's either gonna.
Okay, so that right there,
Yep,
that
yep, the
moment
weird little
right
lip.
there is why I don't, why I hated playing this game on
Unpowered.
powerless, because that bonk happens approximately 1,000 times an hour.
Well, let's just remember like how many times in like Dishonored I would try to jump and I would just get like locked inside of like a ceiling,
Yeah.
and all you'd hear is just. brrrr.
I'm gonna have to watch that. I don't remember.
It happened to both of us a fair amount. It happened
And I got
to
stuck in a
Robokai
tree
more
in the
often.
Dow DLC. That was pretty great.
I did at one point like get stuck floating in the sky. In it's on one of my outtake videos. I was just like standing on nothing.
That wasn't actually a bug in the game though, because it started spontaneously playing. I believe you can fly. It's just the biggest Easter egg.
The slow amble search.
There's a reason we call you Bumbles and me Stumbles.
Accidentally activated alarm clock
I
along the way. It's fine.
want this, and I want this.
I want the death beast to stop biting me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take the goddamn blood fight thing in the bath
Man.
salts. No, the bath salts.
That
are
is.
nice.
I don't want to know what that guy ate, but it probably wasn't pretty.
A chest burster.
Yes. Let the environment tell a story. There's the bath salts.
Bath salts. Bath salts happened here.
Yeah, exactly. What did he eat?
So too many bath salts, and inside were bloodfly eggs.
It's the Dunwall, the Dishonored version of like crystal meth. Bath salts.
Honestly, like that's what we need to take here is that this guy was just a very irresponsible drug user, and instead of smoking a reasonable amount, he just gobbled down his entire dose of bath salts, and that was the result.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's the outsider at work for you.
What did this shop sell? This shop sold like teacups and like a weird bowl.
I stopped looking at a lot of these like random ransacked stores because it's absolutely incredible how any of them could stay in business when
No, I love
their
it.
inventory is like
Non-existent.
I love
5
it.
things. Yeah.
And then he's got like 2 officers in the
Dude!
back for some reason.
You were pointed almost directly at Whalebone, and I thought you were messing with me.
I mean, to be fair, if he's not crafting charms, then why would
managed to
you
get
need
there.
it?
Be careful. Those people.
Hey, let's be friends.
See, look, I gave him 5 gold, and he cares about me immensely now. What's the problem?
Yeah, he does. He's your friend. Even if you don't give him 5 gold, he'll come over and be like,
Not easy to pinch. either.
impressive.
No, you screwed up. It won't work without another.
So these guys are howlers.
No, one of them's a howler, the other one is just a civilian looking to run a heist.
Explosives. Never said I did.
Yeah, she's like, come and get your goddamn children, you freeloader
It takes a smooth hand.
mom.
You can't piss around.
I
here
just wish
forever
you
either.
could help them rob the
Eventually
place.
Some wank girl will see us and the howlers will catch
Instead
wind.
of beating the crap out of them and
Yeah.
robbing the place in their
Like,
stead.
you're just being a dick.
You kind of could. Like, maybe
Hi,
they could move
everybody.
far enough away
Take it
and
slow.
then, like, come back. Oh,
It's
no, they're not
fine.
coming
Just
back.
such an awful person.
Why is...
Like,
They died almost instantaneously, though. They didn't even
Yeah,
really
but
know.
I
like
bet
how
you
their eyes
$5
crossed.
Robokey's not gonna move the corpses before he blows the wall.
Why would you bother?
Well, I
those
won't
are
take
just
that
flesh
bet
bags.
because I don't remember what I did. But I virtually guarantee you that at the point the bodies hit the floor, I stopped paying attention.
So not only did he kill the poor mother and daughter burglary team, but he's also gonna blow their corpses to smithereens. Murder Corvo.
Honestly, at the
Yeah,
point
well,
they're
you know.
at, they don't care what happens
Now
to their bodies
their
anymore.
family won't be shamed.
Honestly, this is the way you bring honor to the family, because at least this way their survivors are like, man, mom and sis died metal as hell.
And when you think about it, they're poor. They're poor. Now they don't have to buy a large coffin.
Okay, I have a question. I have a
Listening.
question. Did you guys spend any time, like, trying to explore all the weirdest places you could get to? Like, on top of the tallest roof and stuff like that? Or was
Wait,
that just
anytime.
Wait,
What?
what?
What was the
I
question?
always try and get up to places, but I did do a run, so I know a
Like,
little
did
bit
you
more
guys-
about the area, but I still
Did
like...
you guys spend any time, like, you knew there was nothing up there?
Oh,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
tried to get up
absolutely.
there.
It's half the
So
fun.
I'm terrified
Like,
of heights.
there's a weird blocked off gateway.
I'm
up-
terrified of heights, so the answer is hell to the no.
A weird what now school?
There's like a little blocked off sort of gateway building in this little
Huh.
courtyard. And like I was desperately trying to like get up there and get over the gateway. I knew there was nothing there and it probably wouldn't let me, but I just wanted to try.
I was appreciating that, Robokai.
My thought process is there. We're just like, what?
Something familiar about you.
Did any of
Been
you
away from
guys
Karnaka for a long time.
blow up
I need a
the
rewire tool, like the ones
like rob the
used by
store
the
before
Grand
Paolo
Guard.
showed up?
No questions. Clear?
Because
Yes, sir.
I show
But
it
I
in one of
can't
my
help you
videos,
right
but
now.
I just
I
want
have
to see
people
if you
coming
guys
in,
didn't
and
show
I
it.
can't be responsible for their manners if you take my meaning. Paolo is coming by.
No?
See me later.
Understood.
You should go.
He says
We can
something
do business
different.
another time. Like I said,
If there's no shopkeeper there for him.
I certainly did. I didn't mess with the shopkeeper, but I don't know. I'm gonna now. I've never seen that. Damn it, school. Now I'm gonna have to go back.
Yeah,
and
I'm
get
very
that.
curious.
I'm gonna have to get that in a bonus video.
Who do we have here?
It's not like amazing, but Arcane thought of it.
I mean,
so.
that's pretty slick.
You won't like how this ends.
Oh, that's not how it ends? How does it end then? With an old man giving me advice in my own damn city, then being force-fed his ugly mask?
You call my mask ugly?
Ooh,
Sounds
that's
something
different.
I'd like.
Kinky.
My mask is beautiful.
Like, dude, I don't think
yeah,
you realize who
pulling her sword
you're
down
messing
now.
with. I don't think you realize who you're messing with. Aren't you?
She's just standing there.
And I'm gonna stand up here so the rats can't get me. Yay! I really wish I thought to just try and eat all of them.
Eat them.
Honestly.
Eat them all.
I know.
Honestly, surprised.
I'm really
that you did.
disappointed in
Hoover them
myself. Alright, see you later, Paolo. Have a nice resurrection.
The Howlers didn't even howl when they died. This is silly.
It's kind of hard to when the blade is going up through their tongue.
Yeah, well, they should have found a way, damn
Okay,
it.
so
I can't believe you're alive after crossing Paolo.
He talks a good game, but I was putting down his kind when I was 16.
What the fuck was Corvo doing at 16?
Ah, I might have what
He was
you've
a
been
swordsman.
asking for.
Yeah, that was about the same time he was winning swordsmanship tournaments and getting out of this place by
Situation in
being
the
really
Empire
good at
has driven
fencing.
forces up.
He is good at swords.
He's good at sword.
My Dishonored 1 experience taught me very
You
differently.
won't be sorry.
Yay, the rewire tool that you don't need and probably won't buy. Nailed it.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I mean, I guess he
I
killed
have
all the
some upgrade
guards,
plans for
but
your gear.
the rewire tool is a great way to kill a lot of people in a short amount of time.
Particularly with some of the things that we're about to be meeting in the Clockwork Mansion.
Deal well made.
Mm-hmm.
Pouring all this money into our beautiful gun.
It really makes me sad that you don't have the brilliant weapon that Piero made you from the last
I
game.
hope you'll think of me again.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pistol. That was a beautiful, beautiful pistol.
Steampunk revolver. love the meander. I'm just never getting over this meander.
I know. I love watching everybody else play this because it's like Corvo or Emily is just like hup, 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 running everywhere, and I'm just like, hey, I'm walking
It's
on
good that both you and
sunshine.
School
Whoa.
occasionally do a little bit more of a meandering, show everything in the level versus just murder, kill, stealth.
Murder, death, kill. we're all in.
I don't
we're all
normally
from
do that,
Demolition
but yeah.
Man here.
I'm stuck. Okay.
Good one.
Time to set people
Let me
on
off.
fire
Let
and
me off.
then put them
Okay,
out with
there we go.
wind blast. Yes. Can you get all the way
Unfortunately,
up
they
the
don't
roof?
actually survive if you put them out like that. I tried. I really want, because there were a number of things that I was trying to that'd be.
Oh shit! Whoosh! Oh shit!
Whoa.
Maybe this
Okay, so
ambush.
never quite paid attention to how big those shadows got.
Flies this year. People just.
You know, and you don't have a shadow. I don't know if you've
I
ever
did
noticed
not,
that, but Corvo and
actually.
Emily do not have shadows. They do not. If you're carrying a body, it'll just be like the body shadow. It's like you're a ghost. Right in the... That's like Corvo's preferred method of execution. Just sword right up through the chin.
How did you even see him?
I like when he just, like, I don't know if Corvo does it, but I like when Emily just casually, like, backhand cuts the head off somebody. Like,
I appreciate she's trying to keep the ruse going. You there? I need your help.
Yes.
Wrong
Yes.
way.
Come on, I don't have time for games.
I'm
Yes, I
missing
am
my
hurt.
entire head. Yes, this is painful.
I do miss time stopping when you jump, though. That's the thing I miss the most with Emily.
Okay.
It's just like I didn't think I killed him with the first two swings, so it's like,
It's like, good enough.
Dude,
gotta
good
keep
enough.
swinging. You never know, he might still have a leg.
I appreciate that you didn't even cut off his leg before he died. You just like gave him an impromptu kneecap surgery, and he's just like blarg.
No, he was just imitating a lawnmower. That's basically it.
Now I can move faster and stop time longer.
So, personal opinion.
Well, slow time.
I always hated the upgrade for time stop versus just slowing down time, because stopping it always just felt too strong and too boring. Seeing the slow reactions of everybody is half the fun.
But it's hilarious. But you can, like, can't you, like, forward? No, that was Dowd, wasn't it?
You can still do that, I think, with the appropriate blink upgrade. Or no, wait, no, that's still just Dowd. I'm tripping. I require the time stop thing for, you know, something resembling stealth, simply because, particularly on some of the later levels, when it gets to be on very hard, like, there's just so many people around and they're so perceptive that literally stopping time to knock all of them out is the only way you can get through without raising
Oh, I
hell.
100% believe it. It's incredibly powerful. It's just, I like seeing the despair on their faces.
Not just, yeah, and it's also very too good, and I'm really trying to ignore what you just said, because that was
It's hard to quantify.
Expansive
I just
spirit,
like to
sure,
murder. His haircut is a lot neater in this picture than in the, like, official. I don't know. From the beginning of the game, his hair is longer, but he's got like a weird little.
It's not a bad look, honestly. But you're right. It is very whatever the guy's actor is named.
Okay, there was one reference that went right over my head. Good fortune on both of you. That's usually incredibly hard to do on me.
It was Game of Thrones, man.
Oh, that explains it.
If you're gonna miss a reference, miss something obscure. Damn
I mean, that is like one of the biggest gaping holes in my knowledge, simply because I don't like to watch big series like that unless I have somebody to watch it with. And by the time I got around and like became aware of the fact that Game of Thrones existed, everybody had already watched it. Just like, well, that sucks.
That does suck.
Well, I think you just need better friends.
I freely admit I'm a complete knowledge pleb when it comes to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so I mean, at least both of us are total blanks when it comes to fantasy stabbing your family simulator 2017.
You know, speaking of Game of Thrones, one of the Game of Thrones actors is a voice actor in this very
Is that
level.
so?
Paolo.
Who does Paolo do?
Paolo is Prince.
Renly?
Prince whatever, he got his eyes poked out. No, the one who fought the mountain.
Whatever his face is.
The handsome one, and every scene he's in,
she
you're like, I wanna fuck that dude. it was a memorable scene.
It's I am aware of that one because I see a lot of that used in like people making jokes between like dexterity builds versus strength builds.
It was so frustrating.
He's the sexiest guy in the whole show!
Swear to God.
Like, no, he's gone forever. We'll never see his shirtless form again.
It was pretty magnificent, I gotta say. Anyways, moving on.
From all of that.
Anyways.
Well,
I like how they've changed up the puzzles a little bit. Like, you know what? We know you're just gonna, like, spin the wheel until the third number comes up, so just here you go.
The Regent is what a really lame name for a group.
That is.
I love
the Regenters. Stop right there.
I love how they're so obviously modeled on like the small radical political activisty groups. That their great action is to wear the crest of the old regent, and that's how they make change. It's fucking useless, man. Go for a coup or go out of business.
We're gonna gradually normalize everybody forgetting that the regent was a complete shitbag that had an empress murdered because he couldn't stop fucking up. Because he thought it would be a great idea to introduce the plague to Dunwall to solve a homeless problem.
Yeah, why did he want to kill the Empress again? I honestly forget. Besides generic power.
Because she was close to finding out he fucked up. She was close to finding out he fucked up.
That was him.
Yeah, no, like the entirety of the plots in Dishonored 1 are just him constantly trying to cover his tracks.
Fish!
Everyone's screaming fish! I realize I can't climb while carrying fish.
Fish!
I'm like, no!
You didn't take the agility.
Come on,
upgrade,
you at least
not enough of
have
one.
to fishtail somebody. You might not be able to
There we go.
catfish somebody, but at least fishtail.
I do like I still do not remember what I did with it. I could just like take it up here and like never use it because that's just how I roll.
Break a window.
That is kind of how you roll.
There's two guys coming. There's two guys arriving on a little
That's
thingy.
my
Throw the
question.
fish
Seriously.
at them. Let's just see.
Fish is coming.
Do fish
We need
tails
a
shatter
sports
glass.
commentator. And let's see.
I would
How does
pay good
Robokai
money.
deal with the arrival of two guards? He's got a fishtail. Is he gonna use
I
it?
would pay good money to have like a Mad World remake with those same two announcers. It's just like fish-based puns.
Fred, I expect great things from you.
Fish. What? You are fired. You're fired.
It just seems like you're gonna try to lure them back over to witness the fish.
It was coming.
Nobody cares about fish.
Wow, no, that dude cared about fish. He had his sword out and
Yeah, see,
everything.
he came back. He was like, "What the fuck was that noise?
did.
It was a fish."
What's going on here?
Was that a grenade?
Fish. There's a fish here. There wasn't a fish here before. Would that startle you if you were a person? You just came back through a hallway.
Make me
at
hungry.
work, and like suddenly there was a fish there.
Oh, he actually died? I thought.
slow-mo.
Wow. Okay. Sure.
Nice.
Like, I thought that helmet was gonna protect him.
I just want to apologize right now for talking over people and being very loud. I just get excited.
This game is exciting. It's fine.
Death and murder is
It is exciting.
We are the downfall of society because we say things like that.
Fencer. Fencer's a good one for you. If you get into sword, because that's the one with like sword fights where you get to win sword fights, right?
I'm
What is
sorry.
that?
I was paying attention to my drink and missed what you said.
Like the
which
sword
game?
fights.
He
I'm
just
just
picked
not
up
sure
the bone
which.
charm for
Oh,
Fencer.
the bone charm for fencing.
Oh.
I think Fencer is the one that says it's easier to win like
How
sword.
Yeah,
often
the problem is that sword.
do you even get into sword log contests?
Yeah, but Robokai is fighty.
Yeah, so
he
am
likes
I,
to fight.
and yet
Oh god.
it's a waste of a slot compared to anything else.
That didn't happen. No one saw that.
Nobody on the planet saw you struggle with the
It
dam.
never happened.
I still have refused
I don't know what you're talking about.
pick up any coins
What?
and cash registers for this Let's Play playthrough. Ugh! It just triggers me so
Because
much,
you're smarter
guys.
than the rest of
It
us.
hurts.
See, I will say,
Well.
like, every time that happens to me, there's just, I can feel the fuses
Ooh,
blowing in the back of
question.
my brain.
I wonder if you don't end up robbing the black market, if that whale oil, does it stay after the level transition with the witches?
You can.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Good
it does.
to know.
You can always get a new one from the whale oil dispenser right there.
Her
though.
overall question was whether
can
or
get,
not
like,
the
5.
witches disabled the wall of light.
It doesn't matter though because there's a whale oil dispenser thing right there. You can just get.
No,
like,
my
6
real
of them
question
if you
is,
wanted
could you
to.
not just strategically place them where all the witches
Come here,
are,
friend.
and then blow them up?
Always a delight to see you.
Because that would be what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fundamentally an
You want
entirely
blueprints
new
for better
map.
weaponry.
That was more or less the experiment that I ran on my
Mhm.
side.
Yeah, it kind of loads everything in a set place, doesn't it?
When I specifically knocked out and placed all of the guards somewhere else to see if that
Yeah,
would
I
save
put all
them.
mine on a
And it
boat.
did not.
Answer: it doesn't. No, it did not. they got their crap kicked in hard.
The witches retrieved the guards from the boat in front of Megan and then killed them.
Yeah, like that was just excessive, is what that was.
They're witches. Excessive is not a word they're familiar with.
I mean,
Megan probably wasn't even paying attention. She was probably off
No.
she was probably off looking at some cranks or something.
Either the
she
They
knows
sucked
them.
and
They
they
were
took
like,
it.
"Oh, hey, it's
yeah,
Megan."
she was just smoking her pipe out of the crank, and it was just like, fuck it, I don't care. They're doing me
Not
a
being
favor.
paid enough for this.
Freaking Emily just dumping all these corpses on me. They want them. That's fine.
I like how you're establishing your alibi. I didn't blow up the shop. I was shopping in the shop with the shop.
I don't know what you're talking about. You never saw me.
Ooh, that shovel hit you in
That
the face.
was
I love that.
Really?
Make her forget.
Really,
Forget.
you're really dedicated to all of this.
Well, I feel bad for her.
I'm only partially a terrible person. Don't worry about it.
I mean, life is hard in Serkonos.
It's just
This
her
is,
livelihood.
fairly
That's why I never
safe
rob her.
job.
I always rob everyone else, but not her.
She admits to sleeping in the shop a lot, by the way.
She is the toughest. She has the most sympathy of all the shops.
But she has also the most easily burgled shop.
That's a true story.
I mean, there's an explosion involved, which is always really nice.
I mean, it's fun to rob her, but, you know, I always just feel like a bit too much of an asshole.
I mean, if you rob more than one shop, you can't get the achievement where you hear all of the street performers songs.
Oh, I never got
So-
that achievement anyway.
Really? Is that what the weird
Yeah,
criteria
because they
is?
appear in the final shop where you get ambushed instead, so the final set of musicians don't appear.
Right.
Oh, I thought maybe the final set of musicians was in the palace or something, and you just, like... Because there are musicians in the palace. They're like, why are we playing music for a statue?
Yeah. No, they're supposed to show up in front of one of the shops, but if you rob too many of them, the howlers just ambush you instead.
I guess
mean,
that's why I never got
Yeah,
that one.
having listened to all of the songs, I'm just gonna say you're not missing that much. The only good song that they perform is Silver and Dust.
It's just, you know, as a person who likes to collect all the things, it's very hard when you're voluntarily not collecting
Right.
things. So, it just never happens.
It's also unfortunate simply because, like, particularly at this point in the game, unless you're playing powerless, you're still kind of starved for money. Particularly if you're being aggressive with blueprint gathering. So there's a whole lot of reason to rob this particular shop in general, or in particular, because
got all those silver
and the
bars,
keys.
doesn't it? It's got like 2 or 3.
You know, there's also another couple hundred pieces of gold or coins locked up in that in the train station there, and if you rob it, you don't have to pay 250 gold to access it.
The gate's down. I'll need the code.
Are you still with us, Robokai?
Yeah, I was eating.
I totally thought you dropped out.
Checking. Is
this frickin' guy?
No, I was just
Your
munching
episode.
away. I was listening to you guys talking
I
about
saw
stuff.
you just wind blast. When are you gonna freaking use wind blast, you turd?
Yeah, I don't even know if I use Wind Blast at all.
I'm gonna be so salty
in this episode.
Damn
Swear to
it.
God, dude.
I will use it later. I will use it later. Maybe. I'm like, hey, I'll lure him over with the
What
sound of a
Are you
bolt.
trying to shoot leaves?
There you go.
Are you trying to shoot leaves? Oh no, you're trying to.
Whoa, that was some. Whoa, he's dodgy as fuck. This guy.
She's just standing there. I don't know if it's safe. I'm just gonna hold.
She does not give
Yeah, like what are you
crap.
supposed to do? I'm like, what am I even gonna use? Lightning bolt.
She's just kind of like, I never liked that dude anyway.
He just scratches himself like, what's going on here? It's weird.
That's hot!
Oh, I love how indecisive you got.
Nah.
Yeah, it's the problem. You get so many toys to play with. I'm just gonna get back up on my perch. I'm a bird. I'm bird Corvo. I'm pooping on you.
I do like the personification of you basically just being a really rude pigeon getting revenge.
Oh.
There's an old, Far Side, where it's how birds view the world, and it's just like people and dogs and everything, and they'll have targets painted on them.
And there's the robot chicken episode or bit where there's a daddy pigeon like instructing his kid pigeon, and they're figuring out where they're going to take a dump, and the daddy pigeon is only satisfied when the kid pigeon gets the creativity to take a dump down some dude's snorkel.
Aw.
He starts out doing something like
Send report to furnace.
not so bad. Like he's like, I should take a
I
dump
love
on
that
that white car.
interrogation because the dude's like, oh, imagine that, like, gods you can't corrupt, and the guy's like, hey, come on, this isn't appropriate, and the other guy goes, no, he's got
Okay,
a
look,
point.
this is a perfect situation for wind blast.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm just saying.
and that is why I won't be using it.
Swear to crap.
So salty.
I'm
Hi, everybody.
so mad at you right now.
Haven't seen my kids in 2 years. Stab!
Well, you're never gonna see them again. Enjoy your kids from the void, you fucker.
This is like when you're playing Tenchu, and right before you take out a guard, he goes, "Wish my wife were here."
To be fair, he was trying to kill you, so.
Was he? Or is that
Well.
sword still on his hip?
That note was like,
He would
hey, if that
totally have
very
killed
important person from Dunwall turns up, which I assume is Corvo.
Listen, he's just not on your level.
Mm-hmm.
There it went.
Here we go.
Now you just sort
we
of casually walk through that thing and people start dying.
Ooh. Are you gonna wind blast them into the wall
Just
of light?
seeing what it is. Like, so what it is.
Yeah. I can't imagine any reason.
Please wind blast them into the rewired wall of light, please.
It's not going to happen. Stop. Stop expecting me to do something like creative with my stuff. I'm not you. I'm just. I'm gonna walk into places, get spotted, and like shoot a guy in the face.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's still
so upset you've
you know,
got wind blasted.
I'm
you
like,
haven't
who got
even
spotted?
used
Oh, I'm
it
like, oh
yet.
right, that guy outside with all the dead bodies. The dead bodies I placed.
Wind blast is the best power, Kai.
I know, but
it's okay. He gets results anyway.
It's okay.
And that's what matters.
It's okay. Results are.
You can't accuse
all
her of
that
not knowing what
matters.
she wants.
I just get excited about
Don't search
things.
the whole place. I have ADHD.
This is why you fit in, though, because you get this excited about things.
Are you gonna kill him?
Good
Kai?
night.
Please kill him.
Sure.
Oh, yes, you kill him.
I've got this tiny skull on my back, just like pulling my hair, going, kill them! Who's Windblast? Destroy everybody! I was like, I recorded this 8 months ago! Stop!
Kill him! Hi! Kill him!
Oh, school never
Like,
changed.
okay, so I can't make them all walk at the wall. Okay, bye.
Oh. They will. It'll be fine. We know what you wanted.
You know, I was actually going to mention earlier how, like, the safe here, you guys were saying how they change it up and you have to spin the dial and all like that. I can't express to you how many topics there were on the Steam message board when this game came out, because people not effing getting that you could just spin the dial and it would work. They just sort of gave up and were mad that they could never open that safe ever. And that's exactly what we just saw there.
There are some people that play video games that make you wonder why they even how they even figured out the installation.
The safe that we saw at school, because the safe never showed you the third thing.
Oh, they were looking for the third number. They
got
idiots.
paralyzed looking for the third number, and that's basically what we just saw with regard to trying to get those dudes to walk through the wall of light. By the way, just like I fired one thing, that's it, I'm done. There's no.
I'll go back to it. I'll go back to him, but it's just like, okay, all right. Apparently you're invincible standing up. That's cool. Apparently you don't have a hitbox halfway through getting up angrily.
P.S. P.S. I am dead.
I died doing good work.
Corvo killed
You're like the nicer version of Candlejack, because you actually complete it when.
Who the hell is Candlejack?
God, I can't believe we're doing. I can't believe we're doing this joke now in 2000 and what year is it? 2018. Oh, I didn't want to date the Let's Play.
Yeah, well, whatever. You already went 95% of the way there. You're not fooling anybody.
I also didn't flush the
last
toilet. I haven't
moment.
used Wind Blast. What is going on with me?
2000 and something. Oh no, it's not an 18
This is
something.
like,
Let's
even
play.
this is bothering me with just how poorly optimized this route is. I'm just like, where am I going? I've been in that room. Stop it, me. Stop it. Stop it. This video didn't need to be this long. It didn't have to be this way.
This way, we're all just chilling out. It's fine. This is a good place, a happy place where things are quiet.
No bath salts. Fucking these guys.
These guys are boring guys.
So, speaking of quiet places, I always get a little bit upset when there's a zone
there we go. I flushed
in
one.
the level where there's just nothing, and I feel like that's Fallout.
That's a Fallout 4 problem. Where everywhere you go, there's nothing that's remotely interesting.
Or just period.
No, it's always like you finish a thing in Fallout and it's like, here's a gun or whatever, and I'm like, I explored this whole thing and I have nothing. And there wasn't even a coin. And
That's
I just get mad.
Fallout 4 in a nutshell.
I'm like, God damn it, Bethesda.
A butt shell.
Like, put out like a single bullet or something.
I mean, you haven't exactly been using that pistol.
No, I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about Fallout. Like,
Oh.
You know, yeah, the thing we were talking about. And there are a lot of blueprints.
Yeah,
in
there
this
are.
episode.
Well, there's even
it's
more
only 'cause
when
you
you
missed
miss
one
half
anyway.
of them in the previous game or the previous
I missed
level.
one. Eat it.
Yeah, half of them.
I missed one. It was like fucking one, and I
I'm
picked
sorry,
up 3
Kai.
now. I swear to God, I will like put your head in like one of those like ye olde toileties and flush. I swear to God.
I'm sorry,
Just
Guy.
make-
I like you. You're still like you.
Let's be real, when he threatens violence, it's always to me, because I've done more to deserve it.
This level does feel like a double large, though. Although in reality, this zone and like the first one are not that big. It just, I don't know. It just feels like it takes you a long time to get through them.
I mean, there is just a lot of ground to cover on this level in particular, and to be fair to the game, a lot of it's optional. Like half of this zone that we're currently in right here is totally optional. It only exists to provide
Yeah,
the
you
loot.
could just skip all
There's
of it.
no reason to
You
come
just
up
get your
here.
code
You know,
and-
except people are alive, and that's the crime.
There's money, and I think there's 1 or 2 runes or whatever,
Eh.
but like, there's no real pressing reason to come up here.
We're getting to a high chaos change.
You're so excited about this.
I am. I like when there's murder.
I mean, I'm not gonna mess with the girl at all. I appreciate this.
Have you ever tried wind blowing guys like off?
Have you tried blowing guys off that cliff, RoboKai? Have you
tried blowing guys, RoboKai?
You do a really good job. They just stagger off. They don't understand what's happening.
What's going on?
A fire!
It's okay, RoboKai.
May not be wind blast, but it is still
I
a
appreciate
blast.
your playstyle, even if school doesn't.
Did he set
School does.
Did he
like...
set himself on fire because the other guy was on fire?
I'm just making fun of her cadence.
Look at that! Rewind it. Not a single fucking person walked through it. I hate everything.
No, but
you've got another
although
chance.
They did,
when we
there
come
wouldn't
back
be any
way.
evidence.
There's no trespassing.
I think maybe somebody did, and there just wasn't any evidence. They just got that.
Well, the fact there was still 3 or 4 people around is probably the biggest indicator.
Oh lord! So this is quite the change.
Yeah, this place is full of the blood flies.
Shut your mouth, blood flies. Nobody likes you. Blood flies, you think you're smart, you think you know things, you just keep talking.
I don't think they do any of those things, cool guy.
I mean, do you hear their incessant chatter? Do you hear it? It sounds like... Shut up!
And lo and behold, they did.
Damn straight.
I really want to see what your face was doing at that moment to make that sound. You like shaking your head back and forth.
It was pretty interesting. You just set the alarm.
Grab the dog statue.
Set the alarm just to piss off the blood flies.
Grab the dog statue, Kai. The dog statue. No! You're missing the dog statue.
What? I'm trying to find things to open. Look, jelly nails and stuff in my face. Fine.
This commentary is so frustrating.
Oh god, more of them.
Well, you should have put some fucking levels in possession, shouldn't you?
You can't.
Wait,
okay,
you
hold
can't
on.
possess blood flies, right?
Thank you.
Oh my god,
I
didn't
don't even know.
that.
I'll be honest with you. That's something I've never checked.
I've never done it.
I've so very rarely taken possession.
I possessed rats.
I'm gonna calm down now.
Possessed rats. I possessed dogs.
Down now.
I possessed.
Are you really going to?
Give it your best shot.
You can possess blood flies, rats, and dogs, and gravehounds, and witches, and regular guys, but you can't possess Brianna Ashworth, and you can't. Okay, no. You know what? No.
You just like, because I actually do take possession. I don't. I'm not. I can't remember exactly how far down the path I get with it.
You said you didn't really use it. You waited till the very end.
Because I needed time stop.
It takes a lot.
Possession is not the most useful of your abilities by any stretch of the imagination.
It's really useful if you just want to skip everything.
If you want to skip everything, you can also just stop time and walk forward.
Yeah, if you want to skip everything, you can just not play the fucking game.
Shots fired.
Yoink.
An odd numerator.
Yoink.
You paint a guy's portrait and then he kidnaps you and tries to fry your brain. What the fuck?
Like, odd numerators, not that uncommon. I would say perhaps half of all
True story. I mean, that's
odd.
presuming maybe even half plus 1 if you don't consider 0 even.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
There we go. Power slash.
I'm really gonna calm down
slower,
now.
but
I'm
harder.
gonna calm down. I'm gonna be super nice for his part too. I am.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
I will
See,
fight
already.
She's so violent. I don't understand it.
Oh god, I owe you so many beers at the end of this LP, school.
No, I'm pretty sure school owes us beers.
I'm like, what was the number again? Oh, 026. Okay.
I like that it tells you though.
I mean,
Like, please don't make me read all that.
Right, that would have
Just
told me
tell
where to find it.
I just sort of knew.
If only we
I
hadn't
just sort of
played
did
this
it.
game like
Yeah,
6
well,
times
you know,
already.
I found it by accident.
This actually kind of is weird to me, just because I had this one friend who had honestly never played Final Fantasy VI, and
The horror.
I was hanging out with her while she played this out. She got up to
Okay,
Also,
hurry
I've
up, you
never
have
played Final
45
Fantasy
seconds.
VI, so
well, she got up to the also damn you, Rose. She got up to the one fight with Vargas and Sabin, and I literally could not remember how you were supposed to figure out that you needed to use one of Sabin's blitzes to end the fight. And then, so she's like panicking and freaking out. Then I realized, oh right, Sabin just ends up telling you eventually.
People like Jindosh. Broken children.
yeah, I missed that reference too, but that's
understand
okay.
the point of that
We
story.
still love you.
Fuck off.
And on that note, part 2.